We're about to reveal 3 secrets of psychological manipulation that will help you persuade others. But before we go any further, it's important to clarify something. We want to be very clear. We don't condone the use of these tactics. In fact, if you feel that someone has used them against you, we strongly advise you to leave the relationship or situation as soon as possible. These techniques should only be used as a last resort for self-defense, and even then, they're not foolproof. That said, it's important to know how these tricks work so you can defend yourself against them. So let's get started. Number 1, the Zeigarnik effect. Have you ever heard of the Zeigarnik effect? This cognitive bias describes our natural tendency to remember unfinished tasks more easily than completed ones. For example, if you were to ask someone what they did last weekend, they'd likely remember any plans they had for Saturday night more easily than a Tuesday morning meeting. But what does this have to do with psychological manipulation? Well, by understanding this cognitive bias, manipulators can trick us into prioritizing certain tasks over others. By making a task seem more important or urgent than it actually is, they can convince us to drop everything else and focus on that task. They may downplay the importance of other tasks, making them seem less urgent or important in order to make the target prioritize their demands. In one study, researchers found that people were more likely to remember tasks that were interrupted or incomplete than those that were completed. The researchers concluded that this is because our brains evolved to help us survive. And one way we do that is by paying attention to potential threats. So if something has the potential to negatively affect us, like an unfinished task, our brains will naturally focus on it. Manipulators take advantage of this bias by making it seem like there's a potential negative consequence if a task is not completed. For example, they might say something like, "If you don't do this now, it'll be too late." Or, "If you don't do this, I'm going to be really upset." By making us think there's a potential negative consequence, they're able to trick us into prioritizing their needs over our own. So how do you avoid being manipulated by the Zeigarnik effect? The first step is to recognize and pay attention to how you are feeling. If you're feeling stressed or pressured, it's likely that you're being manipulated. Take a step back and assess the situation. Is the deadline really as important as the manipulator is making it out to be? Are the consequences of not completing the task really as dire as they're claiming? Once you've taken a step back and assessed the situation, set some boundaries. Make it clear to the manipulator that you won't be doing what they want when they want it. Let them know that you need time to think things through. Finally, respect and love yourself. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something you're not comfortable with. You have the right to say no. And if someone's trying to manipulate you, it's perfectly okay to walk away from the situation. Second, the second step to controlling the mind: break tasks into smaller parts and give the target more free rewards. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology demonstrated the power of the broken glass technique. Researchers found that people who were given smaller, more frequent rewards were more likely to complete a task than those who were given one large reward at the end of the task. This is known as the delayed gratification effect. It means that humans generally prefer smaller immediate rewards over larger future rewards. Our ability to delay gratification is limited and often decreases with the passage of time. Psychologists believe that the repeated imagery of the final reward etches itself into the brain's cortex. This creates a powerful motivator that keeps the target under your control. To effectively use the broken glass method, follow these 3 steps. Break the larger goal into smaller achievable steps. Reward yourself after completing each small goal. Make sure the rewards are meaningful and enjoyable. For example, let's say you wanted to motivate someone to clean their room. Instead of telling them to just clean their room, you could break it down into smaller tasks. First, pick up all the clothes off the floor. Second, make the bed. Third, dust the furniture. After each task is completed, give yourself a reward. It could be as simple as taking a break or watching your favorite TV show. by breaking down the larger goal into smaller, achievable steps and rewarding yourself along the way, you'll be more likely to stay motivated and eventually reach your goal. But what if you're the one being manipulated with the broken glass technique? How do you defend yourself against it? Well, the key is to be aware of the signs. Are you being offered rewards for completing certain tasks? Are those rewards too good to be true? If so, it's likely that you're being manipulated. Once you realize what's happening, take a step back and assess the situation. Are the rewards really worth it? Are the risks of accepting the manipulation too high? If you decide to reject the manipulation, be prepared for pushback. The manipulator will likely try to guilt you or make you feel bad for not wanting to participate. Stay firm in your decision and don't let them pressure you into changing your mind. Remember, you have the right to say no, and you shouldn't feel guilty for doing so. Number 3, the fourth and final step to fully mastering someone else's mind. No matter how difficult the work is, always attach each reason with a sense of beauty, grandeur, or lofty ideals. Human beings crave meaning and purpose. We want to feel like our lives have a bigger meaning and that we're contributing to something greater than ourselves. Manipulators take advantage of this innate desire by attaching a sense of meaning and importance to their demands. They may claim that what they are asking is part of a greater mission, or that it's necessary to achieve a noble goal. They may also appeal to your sense of duty, obligation, or loyalty. For example, a cult leader might convince followers that their mission is to save the world by following his teachings. Or a charismatic boss might convince employees that working overtime is necessary to save the company, even though there's no real evidence to support that claim. In these cases, the manipulators are appealing to their followers' or employees' sense of meaning and purpose. They're making them believe that their actions have a bigger meaning and that they're contributing to something important. As a result, followers and employees are more likely to comply with their demands, even if they're unreasonable. So how do you defend yourself against this type of manipulation? First, take a step back and assess the situation. Is the manipulator appealing to your sense of meaning and purpose? Are they making you feel like you have to do what they're asking because it's part of a greater mission? If so, it's important to resist that urge. Remember, you're not obligated to do anything that you're not comfortable with. Second, talk to someone you trust about the situation. Getting an outside perspective can help you better understand what's happening. It can also provide you with the emotional support you need to resist manipulation. Finally, remember that you're not alone. There are resources available to help you cope with manipulation and find healthy ways to contribute to society. In conclusion, psychological manipulation is a dark and disturbing topic, but it's important to be aware of its existence so that we can protect ourselves and others from it. If you're interested in learning more about psychological manipulation, we encourage you to keep watching our videos. We're committed to providing our viewers with accurate and up-to-date information on this important issue. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay informed. Thanks for watching.